So here we are once again. As I promised in the live video that I did yesterday, I'm going to carve this piece of salt stone, with salt rock, salt whatever, salt lamp that I got for the thrift store for $7. Today I'm going to be using the iCube micro carver with this cut saw. I'm going to start off with this cut saw taper burr. This is the silver one. The iCube is made by Ram Products. I'll leave a link in the description how to get this. This is hooked up to a foot pedal. If you don't know about the micro, this is a micro carver. If you do not know about the micro carvers, they're not like the flex shafts. The motor is inside the handpiece itself. All right, so you can see there. This is a power wire going to the handpiece. This spins at 45,000 RPMs. I believe this set for this and this is $180 American. But I suggest if you order this, order the speed control foot pedal as well. It's so much easier than having to turn this on and off. It's got so you can run it by hand. Or you got the foot pedal. Well, mine's on the foot pedal. It's got a forward and a reverse, and your motor button just to engage the power to the flex shaft. I'll leave a link to the description this below. I do not make any money if you guys buy this. Instead, if you guys use the code CFusion or Carving Fusion, you will save yourself 10%. And if you're confused about what set to buy, just email them and tell them that you're a friend of Jordy from Carving Fusion. They'll be happy to help you. What I do suggest when you order this, make sure you order the one that has the 1/8 collet inside there. All the burrs that I use are 1/8. I just use 1/8 for the smaller ones. That's like the shaft there. And then I use the 1/4 inch for my die grinders or my Fordham. So once again, I'll leave a link to this in the description below. Don't be afraid to email them, ask them questions at Ram Products, and use code CFusion or Carving Fusion. Now, carving this salt lamp, I've carved a few before. I don't know how well they sell. I don't think I've sold them. I think I've given them away as gifts. This is my shop vac pipe here. So I'm not going to use my dust collector table for this because it's hard on the bearings. And I got some orange paint on my finger. It's painting a snowman. This is, if it was going to go into my dust collector, it would be hard on the bearings, the salt or soap zone, so I still don't want to use that. So I just got my shop vac hooked up here, so it's going to be loud, so I'll have to do a voiceover. Definitely 100%. I wear long sleeves when I'm carving this salt, 100% dust mask, and I even wear these little surgical Dr. Liz gloves because this is salt. It will get into your pores, and trust me, believe me, it's happened to me. You will get salt. You will feel like you're tasting salt for the next week if you don't cover up your skin. Do I know what I want to carve on this? No, I don't really know. It would be easiest for me just to blast in a wood spirit and just have fun. Now, when you're carving these salt lamps, you can order them on Amazon. They're fairly cheap. Like I said, this was $7 at a thrift store without the light, but I already got the lights for them. Now, if you look here, this stuff is like, let me see. It's like carving hot knife in warm butter. Do you know what I mean? So it's super soft. This stuff is very shaly. So if you look here, you can see a crack right there. So that, I don't know how deep that crack goes into the carving. But even it's like carving slate or cottonwood bark. If you get a crack there, beware. Now this looks pretty clean. Now, if you look here, there's a crack right here. So this could go all the way, and this cool corner piece could pop off. So that's why I suggest buying these lamps from the thrift store, or if you can see them in person when they're not wrapped in plastic. If you order them from Amazon, you just do not know what you're going to get. So since this piece will probably, like if I had a hammer, I could just hit that good couple times, it would probably come right off. So you don't want to carve too deep, so you carve into where the light goes. You don't want to see any pure light in there. I don't anyways. You might want to. What am I going to carve? I just don't know. Like I said, most of this thing, I'm going to speed it up and it's going to be a voiceover. I think if you use the least aggressive burrs on this is better. Like using say this Kutzall Extreme Flame burr, using this is an aggressive burr. Even though it spins fast, these edges of these little spikes can catch this edge where it's just best to use less aggressive burrs. Okay? Okay. I think I'm going to do a flower on this one. The last couple ones I did were wood spirits, so I'll carve a flower. And the flower is going to be like, I don't know what type, like a lily. It's going to be deep inside the flower, so maybe you can get more light out of it the deeper that you carve. So maybe I'll do one up here and then one down here, and we'll see if I'm going to do petals. Anyways. Okay, so I'll draw on a flower up here and then one down here. It's going to be deep inside the flowers. We'll try and make it like it's I don't know. Anyways, so I'll do some real-time carving, then I'll mute it and I'll speed it up. And if there's anything when I'm carving this, tips I can give you, I'll write them down and I'll say them when I'm done carving, or I'll stop carving, have my break, and see how the piece is going. Okay, so before I start carving, you can see I drew it up here, then I drew up here, then I said, you know what, it's just safer to make one big one. Anyways, I don't know. Who knows? So, what happened there was when I was carving, the tip of the glove was a little bit loose like that right there, and it caught the burr. That scared the freak out of me. Because this thing made a loud noise when it was spinning. That goes to show you, don't wear, man, my hands are so cut out from these burrs. Big deal. Don't wear gloves. If you wear gloves, get the thick, smooth leather gloves. If you hit the burr, it will just bounce off the leather and scuff it up a bit. Okay? I understand some of you older folks might need to wear gloves because I believe the older that you get, the softer and thinner your skin gets. Get the thick leather gloves. Don't use cloth gloves. All right? So let's pull that off and clean it up and put another glove on and carry on. So now is a good time to look at your piece. I guess this would be like my carving fusion dogwood. It's always good to stop, leave the room, adjust your eyes, come back and look at the piece. So when I look at this leaf is over top of this leaf, like it's tucked in right there. This leaf is tucked under that leaf. But that doesn't look normal to me. That looks off. So what I got to do is I got to carve deeper, and I got to make this one kind of like that. That looks better, right? Because this one's tucked under there. This one's tucked under that. I just make them, this one's above both of them. This one's tucked under there. That's tucked under that. And I thought, well, I really don't have enough room for 2 flowers on this now because I made this one so big. I went back to my original one, to tell you the truth. So then I could do leaves down here like this. And just when you're doing leaves, just kind of make them think of like fish scales. So this leaf here needs to be underneath this leaf. So what I do is I do an original cut. Then I'll go along and go back and make this leaf underneath this leaf. And you dig it deep into the corners there. You carve a little bit deeper in there, and that'll give you the depth and stuff. It's, to do the flowers, it's good to do undercuts. That's how you can get, like, wood carving is shadows and planes. If you can do undercuts under here, that's good. But this stuff's so fragile. You don't want somebody to buy this piece, or if you gift this piece to somebody, you don't want it to start breaking on them with the undercuts. I might try and do a little bit of an undercut, but not much, right? Like I said from the beginning, it's hard to see, like the what are they called? The Inuits, the Eskimos. They don't like to be called Eskimos, so they like to be called Inuits or something. When they carve the soapstone, you'll see they'll carve just like a simple object, like a walrus with the whole shape of it. Now that's what you could do with this, but that's just not really my it's like a little boat with a little Inuit guy fishing for walrus there or something. I don't know. I'm not making fun of them, but that's because it's hard to give this stuff details, because if you give it lots of details, first of all, you can see the detail by sanding one spot, not sanding where you do the details. You can get different colors that way. We'll try and do that. But if you give it the undercuts underneath these flower petals, this edge of this flower petal could break off. It's just better to do big round things, right? Anyways, carry on. Put the new glove on. Now, it's safe to say this. Yes, I went on a little bit of a carving spree. If you're one of those professionals that like everything when you're doing the wood carving, you like everything to be professional. Well, I don't think this is the right thing for you to carve, because, well, things fall off. You get little stones. You get like little rock stones in the salt lamps too. So you check for that. Make sure there's no real dark spots in it. I thought about the undercuts. You can see the deeper that I carved in here, you get some shadows right there. See the shadows? But for the petals, I think I'm just going to kind of leave them the way they are. Another thing too, the only person that will buy this piece would be a lady. The ladies, we're not going to call them hippies, but ladies, spiritual ladies. They love these salt lamps. They light them up and they think the salt aura gives them, I don't know what it is. Anyways, this is my Dremel. I'm running a Dremel 4000 Dremel flex shaft. I think I'm going to run around. This is Scotch Brite with the sanding man. I'm going to run around and see if I can clean up inside here with this. Is good enough for sanding. You will lose lots of your sharp edges when you use this, but it's okay. If I lose some of the sharp edges, that's fine, because honestly, I think a piece like this, you want it to be softer looking. Does that make sense? All right, so what I did is I took that base off and sanded it. See those screws there? They had some type of weird wax on the threads to hold it to the salt part, the salt lamp. So what I did is just quickly sanded this up with the Orbit sander that I got right here. Quickly sanded it up, put some epoxy on the threads, and put those screws back in. This base was scuffed up pretty bad when I bought it. So, and also another thing I do too is when I get these, if the base is still nice shape, I get some tape and wrap some tape around there, quite thick. So in case my bit slips and hits this, it will hit the tape and it won't wreck the, you won't have to take this base off, right? It won't hit the wood. So that's what we got. Now you can give this a clear coat, but I think I'm going to kind of leave this one natural because that's what the girls like, the natural smell of the salt, the aurora in the room. Here's a salt lamp light I've had. Look, unfortunately, I don't have a bulb for it, so I got to go to the dollar store and buy one of those smaller bulbs, the taller, thinner ones. This one has, it's got like a dimmer switch on it. You can buy these on Amazon. They're cheap. I got like a whole bunch of different types for different projects. Sometimes I just cut this off and this has a dimmer switch, so I use the dimmer switch. So I'll go to the dollar store, get this bulb, and we'll see how it looks. Basically, I think with these lamps, you're going to see it better when there's no light on it. When you turn the light on it, everything kind of blends together more and it's hard to see, but who cares? As long as you had fun and it's cheap to do, who cares? Okay, dollar store I go. What the hell is this? I swore I carved a flower. Oh yeah, I carved it on the other side. Anyways, if you wanted to give this a clear coat, here's a Carving Fusion spit test. It would be a lot shinier. The darks and lights would come through a little bit more, but I don't want to do this. I don't know who carved this Buddha leaf man in the back, but anyways, let's turn this light off here. Come on. And turn the light on. The salt lamp on. There you go. So you can see here how I carved thinner towards the light where it is, and it's really more bright here that on camera than it is real life. It's not like so bright there. The whole thing kind of illuminates the same color all the way around. I guess the camera just picks it up more. Now you can see that crack in there. See how it totally separates from the light? And here's the flower. So you see the petals more than the flower itself. But like I said in this video, when you carve in these salt lamps, it's basically more or less for when people can see what it is. When it's, what the hell? People, what's going on here? Uh-oh, we got it. Houston, we got a problem. People can see what it is when the light's off. And then when the light's on, and it's darker, they know what it is. That's it, everybody. Carving Fusion. Have fun. Here's another thing. See that black in there? That's little rocks. Then I'll show you all the rocks on the back on this piece. So when you see that right there, that's a little rock all the way down. Little rocks. And up here, little rocks. It's okay. It says what it is. Have fun. Make some Christmas gifts. Make some birthday gifts. Do what you want. That's what it's about. Now, which way do I screw this slide in? Okay, that's it. Carving Fusion. Over and out. There we go.